Nutrition has a new Colostrum and Collagen supplement, but is it worth it? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing a highly requested product, which is Bloom Nutrition's Colostrum and Collagen Peptides. In this video, we'll review their claims, the ingredients, its cost, and I will let you know if it's actually worth buying. But first, hi, my name is Katey. I'm a registered dietitian and certified personal trainer. My goal with this channel is to help you learn more about nutrition, fitness, and wellness so that you can be your best, whatever that looks like. I also love to do product reviews, so if you have any products or topics that you want me to cover, just let me know in the comments below. Alright, so let's get started. What is Bloom Nutrition Colostrum and Collagen Peptides? Normally in my videos, I like to dive into the company itself, but I have reviewed Bloom in the past a few times in my other videos, so if you want to learn about the company, feel free to check out those videos after this one. So in this video, we're going to dive right into the product. So Bloom claims that their Colostrum and Collagen Peptide supplement is a 3-in-1 wellness formula. In particular, they say that it's going to help balance gut health, support immunity, and nourish skin, hair, and nails. If we take a look at the supplement facts table, we see that each serving has 20 calories that solely come from protein. In particular, majority of it comes from bovine collagen peptides. I've talked about collagen in a ton of my videos before, but simply put, collagen is the most abundant protein in the body. And it's a structural protein that helps support our joints, our bones, and our skin. The term bovine simply means that the collagen is coming from a cow. And keep in mind that all forms of collagen, true collagen, are going to be derived from some animal. The two main types on the market though are bovine, meaning it comes from a cow, and marine, meaning it's derived from fish. Collagen itself is a very large molecule and it's not very well absorbed in the body. So what companies do is they offer them in collagen peptides, and all that simply means is that the proteins are broken up into smaller pieces so that they're better absorbed, and research does support that this increases absorption. While there are many types of collagen, there are two main types, and you'll oftentimes see these in collagen supplements, which are types 1 and 3. Type 1 collagen is the most abundant collagen in our body, and it makes upwards of 90% of collagen in the skin. It is also found in other areas of the body like tendons, bones, and ligaments. Type 3 is often found alongside type 1 collagen. In particular, it's highly abundant in the skin and the lower levels. And similar to type 1 collagen, it's the second most abundant collagen in the skin and is very important for the structural integrity of our skin, particularly when it comes to elasticity and resilience. And there is quite a bit of research that does suggest supplementing with collagen peptides can support skin health. In particular, decreasing signs of aging, such as the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. In addition to that, helping with skin hydration. Of course, there are limitations to the research when it comes to collagen peptides, and I have talked about those in other videos, so feel free to check that out after this one. With that being said though, at this point, more research supports taking collagen supplements for supporting skin health than it doesn't. When it comes to the doses that are used in research, this can vary quite a bit, but research has found that collagen supplements in doses as low as 2.5 grams have been shown to be effective in improving skin health. Other research uses upwards of 20 grams a day, so there is a lot of variation here. With Bloom, you're going to get 3.7 grams of bovine collagen peptides. While this is on the lower end, it's still within that range. With that being said, I still would probably, if I'm getting just a collagen product, I would probably get a dose higher than that. Upwards of 5 to 10 grams per serving seems to be a little bit more ideal, but nonetheless, the dose that Bloom uses is within the range that has been found to be effective, at least according to the research so far. Next, we have bovine colostrum. So same thing, bovine means cow, so it's colostrum that comes from a cow. And bovine colostrum is meant to feed baby calves when they are first born. And this is their initial source of nutrition and immunoprotection. In a nutshell, what colostrum is simply the very first batch of breast milk for an infant or a baby animal. It's different from general breast milk because it contains a different range of nutrients. In particular, it contains a variety of bioactive compounds that support a baby's immune system. It also contains a variety of other nutrients such as fats, carbohydrates such as oligosaccharides, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and then of course important compounds that are going to support the immune system. So for example, a variety of different types of immunoglobulins, leukocytes, growth factors, and so on. With colostrum, this is again that very initial breast milk, and it only lasts a very short period of time. And it diminishes over the course of a few days and transitions into regular breast milk. When it comes to bovine colostrum supplements, this is the remaining amount of colostrum that is turned into a powdered form. When it comes to bovine colostrum, usually the very first batch of colostrum is reserved for baby calves because they do need that for their own health. And then when it comes to the supplements, it's any remaining amount that is not used. And Bloom says this is the case for their product as well. In terms of the claims that Bloom makes, they say that their bovine colostrum is going to have immune boosting antibodies and growth factors that are ideal for optimal immunity and gut health. While technically speaking, that is the role of colostrum, their claims are a little bit vague. So for example, what is optimal immunity? And gut health is a very general term. So I would love for them to dive in a little bit deeper if they're going to be making these types of claims. When it comes to research, the thing about bovine colostrum supplements is that the research is very, very weak. And there's very limited evidence that truly supports supplementing with bovine colostrum in terms of improving immune health as well as gut health. There's some research, just not a ton. We do have a 2020 meta-analysis that looked at bovine colostrum supplementation and its effect on immune system measures in people who are physically active. Oftentimes, these types of studies are either going to be done on infants, they're going to be done on elderly people, people with very specific conditions, or athletes because they may have altered immune systems because of their high training load. When we take a look at the dose range, we see that it ranges between studies from 10 grams to 25 grams of bovine colostrum per day. Keep in mind that this is 10 to 25 times the amount that you're going to find in Bloom. From all of these studies, they didn't find any changes in immune system measures. And they looked at a variety of different things such as lymphocytes, leukocytes, neutrophils, immunoglobulins A and G, as well as secretory immunoglobulin A. And basically these are all just indicators of a good immune system. And so even when they supplemented with a dose between 10 to 25 grams, again, 10 to 25 times the amount you'll find in Bloom, they didn't see any positive effects on immune system health. Granted, this is in one population, but nonetheless, it goes to show that even a dose that high doesn't seem to be effective for the general population and people who are physically active, which are typically the people that are going to be buying products like this. And Bloom has 1 gram of bovine colostrum, again, so much lower than even what the research is using. And so it's hard to believe that taking Bloom in that dose is going to have any effect on your immune system when the research doesn't even find it supports doses way, way, way higher than that. And other review papers on colostrum have discussed this limitation. On top of that, they've also discussed the fact that you can't even really do apples to apples comparisons with colostrum supplements when you're looking at research because the bioactivity of every single product might be very different. And like I mentioned, most of the research that is done is not in the general healthy population besides athletes. And because of all of this, it's very challenging to suggest that a supplement like Bloom or anything similar with such a low dose is really going to have an effect. And even if it were to, all of them are so different, it's really challenging to know at this point in time if one colostrum supplement is going to be better than the other. So at this point in time, I'm not convinced that the low dose of 1 gram of bovine colostrum that Bloom uses is going to be effective in improving your immune health. When it comes to gut health, there really isn't much research to support it either. On top of that, when you're saying that a product is going to help with gut health, that is very, very vague. There are so many different things that can affect our gut, and different treatments are going to be required depending on the issue. So for example, there's different treatments for IBS alone. There's also different treatments that are going to be required for someone with a weakened gut lining or leaky gut, or for example, inflammatory bowel disease, and so on. And so for a product to try to say that it's going to cover all the bases of gut health, that's not really accurate. In terms of the actual research on colostrum, in terms of helping with gut health, it's pretty mixed at this time. So for example, there was a 2024 meta-analysis that found really mixed results with supplementing with bovine colostrum in terms of improving gut health parameters. Some studies did find improved outcomes, other studies didn't find anything. And like we talked about, another issue with colostrum supplements is each one is going to be so different from one another because it highly depends on the manufacturer, the cow itself, and a variety of other factors. And the doses in the studies are all very, very different. So again, we can't really use all the studies as apple to apples comparison at this time. And definitely the doses are higher than what you will find in Bloom. So for example, one study used 3.75 grams and another study used upwards of 130 grams of bovine colostrum. Bloom uses 1. When it comes to whether or not bovine colostrum is going to actually help with gut health, what researchers are saying at this time is that bovine colostrum may help with gut health in theory. And the reason why is, like we talked about, is that bovine colostrum contains a high amount of immunoglobulins. These are also known as antibodies, and these are very, very important for our immune system function. They also have antimicrobial peptides, different types of growth factors, and other bioactive molecules that may play a role in the function of our gut. And so the theory is that they might help with adults because they do help in newborns, but really, we can't make those claims at this time. This is all theory, and a majority of the research isn't really confirming that at this point. And again, most researchers acknowledge the fact that the research is just so limited at this time that we really can't be making these big, bold claims that a lot of companies are making right now. Okay, so let's briefly talk about the probiotic in this supplement. So this product has 2 billion CFUs, or colony-forming units, of Lactobacillus casei. And Bloom claims that this probiotic is going to help support a healthy gut, which technically is true. And Lactobacillus casei is a very, very well-studied probiotic. And it is linked with improved immune system function, a healthier gut barrier, increased microbial diversity, and so on. So I do like the fact that they use a well-studied strain, and it's also in a decent dose. Keep in mind that this is only one type of probiotic. Generally speaking, it's best to have a variety of different strains when we're taking a probiotic supplement, especially when we're talking about general health, which this product focuses on. With that being said, considering this is not a probiotic supplement, I don't think this is the end of the world. I'm just not convinced that this is going to revolutionize your gut health. And again, the main reason is because people have different things going on in their gut, and they're going to require different treatments, different diets, and so on, depending on what's actually happening and if they have a specific condition. For general gut health, it could help a little bit in the long run if you take it consistently, but I'm just not convinced it's going to do that much for you. It might help a little bit. The one thing though to keep in mind is I do find a lot of companies, I'm not saying Bloom is doing this by any means, but I do find a lot of companies just throw in a probiotic into their supplement, kind of to cover the base of that it covers gut health and make the product more exciting, because gut health is really, really popular. Personally, if I'm going to approach gut health and try to improve my overall gut health, I would probably not approach it this way, and I wouldn't be taking the probiotic in the supplement for it. If you really want to improve your gut health, like I always say, I'm going to say it always and always and always, is that you really should be focusing on consuming whole, minimally processed foods that are high in fiber, as well as probiotic-rich foods. Probiotic-rich foods are going to help introduce beneficial bacteria to your gut. And then the fiber is going to help strengthen the lining of your gut, and it's also going to act as a prebiotic to help feed those healthy bacteria to help them flourish. And so if you actually want to focus on your gut health, that's where I would go first. If you're worried that there's something more serious going on, then you should consult a healthcare professional before taking just a random supplement. Finally, we have B12. I don't have a ton to say about this, but Bloom says that the B12 in their product is going to help with cellular energy and improving overall well-being. Again, the claims are really vague here. Vitamin B12, as well as other B vitamins, not just B12, plays a key role in energy metabolism. What this means is that B vitamins, as well as other nutrients, but B vitamins in particular, help take the food that you eat and help convert it into ATP, which is the energy currency our body uses. So yes, of course, B12 is going to help with this, but it's not unique to Bloom at all. It's just the consumption of B12. Also, in terms of the claim that it supports overall well-being, this is just a really, really vague claim, and honestly, it kind of means nothing. I could say that pretty much about any type of nutrient, whether it's vitamins, minerals, other macronutrients, you need them in certain doses every single day in order to support your well-being. So it's fine that B12 is in this product. It's not really going to harm you in any way. It could help a little bit if maybe your B12 levels are a little bit low, but overall, it's nothing very special to Bloom itself. And I don't really think it's necessary in a colostrum and collagen supplement. Okay, is Bloom third-party tested? The good news about Bloom's Colostrum and Collagen Peptides is that it is third-party tested according to their website. So I really like to see this because it helps to ensure consistency and quality of the product, and what is on the label is what's in the product and nothing more. So this is really awesome to see. Okay, let's finish up by talking about the cost. According to their website, a container that has 25 servings is $29.99 US or $43 Canadian. So this works out to about $1.19 US or about $1.72 Canadian per day. However, they do say that you should take about 1 to 3 servings of this product a day, so this can significantly increase the cost and how often you're going to have to buy it if you're having up to 3 servings a day. For what you're getting and the lack of evidence to support some of the ingredients, at least at this time, I don't think it's worth your money. I do believe that collagen peptides might be effective for some people, but the thing about that is you can buy very, very good collagen peptides from Costco in very large sizes for much cheaper, and they're usually in higher doses. So for example, Vital Proteins, Organica is the one that I personally use, but you can use whatever one you want, and so on. When it comes to colostrum, one, the dose is just so small, but also there's just not a ton of research to support it, so I wouldn't buy the product solely for that. Okay, so what are my overall thoughts? Overall, I love the fact that Bloom is third-party tested. That is really awesome to see. I do like the fact they use a good form of collagen peptides, and they don't go too crazy with the claims, but to be honest, they are actually so vague that it's kind of the opposite. They're not making crazy claims, but they're basically making claims that are so basic that they don't really tell you much at all. I do think that they could go higher with the collagen dose, and I don't think that the dose that is used for the colostrum is scientifically proven at this time. And the reason why is because we have a ton of studies that have mixed results. They use higher doses, and we're not even sure if that's effective at that point. So to use an even lower dose, I'm not convinced. The probiotic in this is fine. I just don't think that it's going to be revolutionary for your gut. It could support it a little bit, but if you have underlying gut issues you're worried about, you have to go see a healthcare professional, not just watch a video on YouTube or go buy a supplement. You really need to go seek out personalized care. Like I said, B12, it's not harmful, but it's not really a necessary add-on either. Like I said, I think there are better collagen supplements out there, and I'm just not overly convinced this product is going to do that much for you. So personally, I would probably save your money on this product and either buy a collagen supplement on its own or don't at all. I just don't think this product in particular is really worth that money. Let me know in the comments below if you have any other products or topics you want me to cover. And if you did enjoy this video, I would love it if you would like and subscribe to my channel because your support helps me reach more people like you. And I'll see you in the next video.